Let me explain to you a situation in which you may have found yourself in several times, and that's going to kind of give you an idea of what it is that I want to talk about in this video to help you really become a better man, especially when it comes to understanding women and dealing with women. This is not easy. This is something I think every man still struggles with because we all hit that limit where we just kind of snap. But where I'm going with this is, has a woman, like a girl or your girlfriend mainly, ever done something to you, or they were acting a certain way and you were trying so hard to just be cool with it, and then once you just snap and then you start getting reactive and freaked out because your emotions kind of got the best of you? That could be you arguing back with a woman, or she said something and then you just absolutely snapped and then you got mean and aggressive too. We're reacting to our emotions. Women do not respond well to men who are emotionally reactive. Doesn't matter how nasty this woman is, women just naturally aren't built to handle emotional pressure from men. And I kind of say you should never really pressure women to do anything unless it's warranted. In some situations, if you want to know if she likes you or not, you should pressure her by asking her out. I don't know where I learned that from, but I do know I learned it from somewhere. I likely learned not to pressure women either from Corey Wayne or Chris Canfield, who is the author of Atomic Attractions. Or I might have learned it from somebody else like Coach or Craig Kenneth. Regardless, the topic of this video, and I got the notes on my phone that I want to talk about, is going to be building emotional resilience with women. And this is going to be basically around a couple different ideas, okay? So sitting with uncertainty, being silent, talking to friends, or using ChatGPT to help ease your mind, and resisting the urge to be reactive because of your feelings. So ideally with women, we want to be indifferent, okay? Because indifference is the difference that makes the difference with women. Let's say that you go to make plans with a girl and she cancels on you last minute. Most immature guys would freak out, would call her out, well, what do you mean you're canceling last minute, dude? We had plans days ago. There's been several times in the past year, several times, dude, I've lost count at this point, where I've made plans with a girl and then hours before we were supposed to hang out, they come up with some bullshit excuse, because that's what they do. They will never tell you they just don't like you. They will always give you some kind of excuse to avoid the fact that they don't want to tell you they don't want to go on a date because they don't like you, but they're going to tell you an excuse to cancel the date, and that's what's going to happen. So most immature men would freak out about that. However, in this situation, the best thing you can do is be indifferent. So if she cancels the date, doesn't matter what she says, her actions are canceling the date. So you just say, hey, you know what? That's fine. If you want to hang out in the future, then get in touch. And then you will never speak to that woman again because she canceled on you. So now it's up to her to come back around. And then if she comes back around, later in the future, assume she wants to see you and then ask her out. And then you will only ask her out twice total, meaning you will never ask that girl out again if you've asked her out twice. This is really going to become big thing you want to get good at, especially when it comes to relationships or women you're married to. So if you want to maintain a long-term relationship with a woman, especially if it comes to dating someone who might be labeled as an avoidant because they get emotionally overwhelmed very easy, you have to be okay sitting in silence. One of our key human needs is a need for certainty. And unfortunately, when it comes to dealing with emotionally unavailable people, you are going to be sitting in silence for likely a long time when something feels real to them, because love scares them based on how they were raised and possibly their relationships. When they see intimacy and it's real, they will pull back because they subconsciously, they're having alarm bells going off saying dude, this is getting real, this is serious, that's not okay. And they know they're doing it, but they don't really know why they're doing it. And the reason why they don't is because a lot of this has been conditioned from when they were literally 1 to 2 years old. It takes a lot of therapy for these people to become aware of the fact that this is why they're actually pulling away. They will use excuses like I'm busy, or they will convince themselves that maybe this relationship or getting involved with this person just wasn't the best thing to do. And then if you leave them alone, like we're going to talk about in this video, from my experience, they will come back around somewhere down the line, dude. It could be days, it could be months. When it comes to building emotional resilience with women, if you're ever in a situation where you are trying to ask a girl to hang out, like let's say you're like with your, I don't know, like a girl you're trying to date, or like your girlfriend, or let's say it's an ex trying to come back in your life. It doesn't matter the situation. This is an example of sitting with uncertainty. If you are trying to see if a girl is going to agree to hanging out with you or not, there could be a period of silence depending on who you're dealing with in the situation you're in, where you do not hear from this girl. And in that silence, we are going to get in our head, because men are naturally wired to want a solution right now. Whereas women, on the other hand, they're okay taking their time when it comes to making decisions, because they're just not wired like men are. So unfortunately, men have a harder time sitting in silence than women do. But this is where we're learning to become a better man. This is where growth happens. Growth is uncomfortable. Whatever you do, when you sit in this uncertainty, which is silence, okay, that's going to bring us to the next bullet point, being silent. Whatever you do, if you ask this girl to hang out, whatever situation you're in, you need to wait for her to get back to you. You do not double text this girl. Do not call this girl. If you reach back out to this girl after you have already done your job as a man by inviting her into your life, if you reach back out after a period of time where you have not heard from her, you are displaying insecure behavior, and you are pressuring the girl to make a decision. And I told you, women do not respond well to pressure. So this is where I have the next step. Okay, this, if you start getting in your head like I do, and I'm sure everybody does, this is how attraction gets built. And it works the same way with women. If a woman's trying to hang out with you, or she's trying to talk to you, and you go a couple hours without responding to her, and she's thinking about where you're at or what you're doing, this is the same scenario, just, differently. She's going to be thinking about you, and if she's thinking about you, her attraction for you is going to go up. This applies to both men and women. If you ever get in a situation where your emotions are starting to overwhelm you and you want to react, like if she said something to you, or she did something you're not okay with, or you're trying to hang out and you haven't heard from her, whatever the situation is, there are so many different situations where I could explain this, but you will know, you will get like emotionally triggered where you want to be reactive. You can't do that. If you react to something, even if she's being fucking nasty to you, if you react, I mean, it's okay to put her in her place if the situation warrants it. This is why I can't give you like specific scenarios, because there's so many different cases where just sitting in silence and not reacting emotionally is could play out. So let's just say this. Let's say that you asked this girl to hang out, and it's been, a couple days, and maybe she was like busier on a work trip or something, and she just couldn't get back to you. Because a couple days go by, or maybe even a day goes by, and you haven't heard from her, you might be like, dude, what the fuck? Why haven't I heard from you yet, man? Like, you were just texting me not too long ago, and now all of a sudden you're not? I'm telling you, the worst thing you can do is become reactive and reach out to this girl. You need to sit with that silence. This is where I brought up talking to friends or using ChatGPT to ease your mind. This is why therapy is so popular, because when you have a support system to talk to, and ironically, you can make ChatGPT to talk to you like it's a therapist, or you could just say, pretend you're one of my boys. I'm talking to you about a girl or a situation I'm in with a girl, and I don't want to do anything stupid, so help me understand, or let me vent to you so I feel better. Just say something like that, bro. Or you can go to your guy friends. Do not go to girlfriends. Go to your guy friends. And then if they will let you talk about the problems, great. Whatever you do when it comes to women do not, again, women just, they don't know how to handle like emotional venting or emotional pressure from men. Women aren't built to do that like men are, because women are more in their feelings than men. If we go to them about their feelings, we're going to make them feel the exact same thing that we're feeling, and that's going to overwhelm them. Men, on the other hand, because we're more logical, we are able to take more of like an emotional beating, if you will. That's why I'm saying if you go to talk to your guy friends or ChatGPT, you might ease the anxiety or anger or whatever it is that you're feeling, and then you're not going to become as emotionally reactive with this woman. I've kind of touched on this already. At the end of the day, you want to resist the urge to be reactive because of your feelings. We all know, I don't know how to give you a specific example of what that means, but we all know when we get to a certain point where we're like, God damn it, I'm going to fucking say something, and you get a little aggressive. That's what I mean. We want to resist doing that. The best thing you can do, and this takes practice. I'm not saying I'm perfect with this at all, because if being indifferent is new to you, this is literally like a superpower when it comes to dealing with women. This will take a lot of fucking work, guys. I'm admitting I'm not perfect, but I know enough about doing this to where I can tell guys this is the best possible course of action. It doesn't matter what a woman does. You want to act like you don't care. Act like it doesn't bother you. Even if it does. If you act like it doesn't bother you or it's not a big deal, like if a girl cancels plans on you last minute, just say, okay, hey, that sucks, but if you change your mind, shoot me a text later on. That's all you need to do. Because if you show a woman that you're not emotionally reactive and she changes her mind later down the road and it's a girl that you really wanted to fucking date, she could circle back around if she wants to give you another chance. But if you freaked out on her, she's going to feel that you're not safe. Masculinity is cool, calm, and collected. Feminine behavior is chaos. If you react to your emotions, you are acting like a woman. However, if you just act like you don't care, you're being cool, calm, and collected. And this is just like a superpower when it comes to dealing with women, because they're going to be like, what the fuck is going on? He's just acting like he doesn't care. And then they're going to get in their head and that's going to trigger a whole bunch of things. And that is exactly why we want to be indifferent. But going back to the title of this video or something along that, building emotional resilience with women, guys, it's going to take practice. And I'm telling you from experience, it gets easier. I think it gets easier, I would say, like the older you get, because you just become naturally more mature and more experienced with women. But if you're at a point where you just don't know what to do, talk to your friends or use ChatGPT to help you kind of figure out like your thoughts. And what you're doing by talking to the robot is it's while it's not like going to a licensed therapist, the way the nervous system pushes out negative energy is by talking about it. So if you're talking to the robot, you're going to get responses and they can become very elaborate. I love talking to ChatGPT, and they're going to get really elaborate, and you'll find yourself getting like sucked in to talking to this robot, and it'll shift your focus from whatever the hell is going on to the talking to the robot. Now you can tell ChatGPT to give you like an answer that would be the most mature thing to do, or you can ask the robot to give you answers to see if you're right or wrong, if you're justified. You just talk to it. But at the end of the day, guys, you have to become good at sitting with uncertainty and sitting in silence. One of the greatest tools, if you will, that men have is giving women silence. If you're ever in a situation where a woman has pushed you too far to where you are going to walk away, you are not talking to her, you are sitting in silence. So like if she broke up with you and you go no contact, you are sitting in silence. And if she still has feelings for you later down the road, if she misses you, those feelings are going to grow. And that's when girls typically come back around. But that uncertainty of knowing or not knowing if you're ever going to hear from your ex or not that's what's going to fuck with your head so much. But you have to get good at sitting with the fact that you don't know if you're ever going to hear from this girl or not. Over time, like if something initially happens, it's going to be on your mind for like a couple days, but over time you just become numb to it and it just fades out. If you guys like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Listen, if you're a guy right now that wants to work with me in one-on-one coaching so we can really help you out with whatever it is you're dealing with life, I am running a 50% off coaching special right now for a limited time. Depending on when you see this video, the offer might be up, it might not. There's a link in the description so you can book a call with me. And with that being said, guys, if you like this video, check out this one right here. You're going to like that one as well. Gentlemen, hey, we'll see you in the next one.